Welcome to Mission Gathering Charlotte. This community is for you if you grew up in the church and have lost your faith. If you're in a moment of deconstruction or reconstruction. If scandals, politics, and hate have led you into doubt. If the stories of this faith raises doubts and curiosities in you. Our time here, it's not about trying to fix you, because you are not broken. Our journey in this life is not about erasing our doubts, but embracing them. For it is only in the darkest of nights that we can truly see the stars. So now, as we celebrate the nights growing shorter and the days growing warmer, we don't think you should have to make this journey alone. So if you're Asian, Latinx, Black, white, or Indigenous, if you're male, female, trans, or non-binary, if you're 3 days old, 30 years old, or 103 years old, if you've never stepped foot in a church, or if you're a Buddhist, Roman Catholic, agnostic, or you are a lifelong evangelical, if you are single, married, divorced, separated, or partnered, if you are straight, gay, lesbian, asexual, or bisexual, if you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, a socialist, or not registered to vote, if you've had or had addictions, phobias, abortions, or a criminal record, if you own your home, rent, live with your parents, or are homeless, if you're fully able, disabled, or a person of differing abilities, you are welcome to join us on this journey to share our sacred meal at the table of grace. Happy Sunday and welcome one and all.
No conditions, you are loved. We cannot say it enough. You completely belong. No, we cannot say it enough. You are safe to be who you are. No, we cannot say it enough. So come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table. Come to the table, just as you are. No exceptions, welcome home. We cannot say it enough. You're not on this road alone. No, we cannot say it enough. Nothing to prove, you can let down your guard. We cannot say it enough. So come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table. Come to the table, just as you are. Come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table, just as you are. Just as you are. Just as you are. There's no fear in love. There's no fear in love. You are safe to be who you are. Nothing to prove, you can let down your guard. And come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table. Come to the table, just as you are. Come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table, there is a place for you. Come to the table, just as you are, just as you are, just as you are, just as you are, just as you are.
One day Jesus was standing beside the lake Gennesaret when the crowd pressed in around him to hear God's word. Jesus saw two boats sitting by the lake. The fishermen had gone ashore and were washing their nets. Jesus boarded one of the boats, the one that belonged to Simon, then asked him to row out a little distance from the shore. Jesus sat down and taught the crowds from the boat. When he finished speaking to the crowds, he said to Simon, "Row out farther into the deep water and drop your nets for a catch." Simon replied, "Master, we've worked hard all night and caught nothing, but because you say so, I'll drop the nets." So they dropped the nets, and their catch was so huge that their nets were splitting. They signaled for their partners in the other boat to come and help them. They filled both boats so full that they were about to sink. When Simon Peter saw the catch, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Leave me, Lord, for I am a sinner." Peter and those with him were overcome with amazement because of the number of fish they caught. James and John, Zebedee's sons, were Simon's partners, and they were amazed too. Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you will be fishing for people." As soon as they brought the boats to shore, they left everything and followed Jesus. Luke chapter 5, verses 1 through 11, Common English Bible Translation. The Word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God.
You know, something I hear all the time, or something I seem to hear more often these days, is people talking about being worn out or being sick of being tired, feeling like they just can't do anymore. Maybe you feel like that a little bit. And if you don't, please email me to let everyone know your secrets at how you're doing so well right now. But the truth is, I don't think any of us are really doing that great because we've all gone through a collective trauma. And whether that collective trauma began for you when the shutdown happened, or whether it started before that, maybe you noticed that your faith group of origin, the place you grew up in, the people you grew up with, that there was something really wrong going on there. That politics and hates and scandals led you away from that. Maybe that's where your trauma started. Regardless of where your trauma started or how this feeling, this heaviness began, the weight of all of these stresses, all of the things that we've left undone and need to be done in the future, or the debts and everything else that pile up, it's getting to be a lot, right? And when there's this amount of stress, it just seems like rest is almost impossible. Like it's hard to go to sleep, to shut off your mind, to find time to relax and just be. You know, this is part of what's going on in our gospel story today. The four fishing partners on the shore had gotten up super early, probably before the dawn, to get out there in their boats. And they worked almost the whole day and they caught nothing. And if things worked how they normally work or how they should work, that would be okay. They could just go out and try tomorrow. But you see, these four partners didn't have to just catch fish for themselves, but they had to catch these fish for Caesar and the empire. All of the fish in the lake belonged to Caesar and the Empire of Rome for their garum trade, which was like a type of fish sauce. And if they couldn't catch the amount that Caesar was owed, well, they would still owe the money that catch would have brought in. And if they couldn't pay the money that they didn't make in the catch, then their children could be sold into slavery, or their possessions could be taken by the tax collectors themselves. So to just say that they were having a bad day while sitting there and cleaning their nets is a bit of an understatement. They were having a pretty terrible day. They were having a pretty terrible year. They were having probably a pretty terrible time for a long time. But you know what's interesting is that people groups that get oppressed and hold down for a long time, they always seem to be able to show kindness, even when they're having bad days. That's what these four do. I mean, they show this kindness to Jesus. It's been an awful day. They don't know how they're going to pay their bills or what's going to become of their families. And Jesus asks them, hey, can I use your boat as a pulpit? And they say, sure, you can use our boat. And then once he's done preaching, they were like, man, this guy, he's saying some pretty amazing things. And he's like, hey, let's push the boat out deeper and I'll show you how to catch some fish. What would that have felt like? They've been fishing all day. Their arms were tired, but they still humor this guy. They're still choosing kindness. So they throw the nets in. When they throw the nets in, the big catch happens. They catch more than they have ever caught, even beyond the amount of partners that they had. They call the whole fishing community in to try and bring in these nets so that they don't tear. This meant that they could pay the tax collectors. This meant that they could pay the tax collectors for the whole community. This meant that their families would be able to have enough to get by. It's a big deal moment of liberation. It wasn't just about the fish. It was about what the fish meant. It was about an injustice being righted. And this liberation wouldn't have happened without their willingness to show kindness and that ability, that resiliency to go just a little bit further. So Jesus tells them to follow him. And they will do what they had just done with fishing nets, but for people. For whole communities, for tribes, for ethnicities, for countries, they will do the same thing. His words aren't telling them that they will bring people to a personal relationship with God on an individual level, stacking them up like items to be sold or bought or like people to be won, but that they will go out into the larger community, the larger kingdom of the world, and they will bring out true liberation. Just as Jesus had done for them by catching so many fish. You see, I think this is so much of why we are tired in our society. We've always been told that we rise or fall on our own efforts, that it's all about us working harder. It's all about us making the sacrifices and pushing into the grind and making things work out. Because that's America's true religion, right? America's true secret religion, both inside and outside of the church, seems to be more about self-actualization than collective liberation. Self-actualization is a tiresome process because you were never meant to do anything on your own or by yourself. In our tiredness, Mission Gathering and friends, in our tiredness this week, maybe if we push out a little bit further, from the shallow religions of personal piety and prosperity, and we push out into those deeper waters of something truly liberating. Maybe then we can connect to the deeper rhythms of this life, the deeper rhythms of grace. We can find true rest. We can find true peace. And we can recover our lives from simply trying to get by to thriving, to living into God's abundance. But to do that, we have to push out deeper. To do that, we have to choose acts of kindness even when we're tired, even when we're done, even when it feels like we can't. We have to throw the net one more time. Because I know, I get it. Your arms are tired. Like maybe you clicked on this because Christianity has been one empty catch after one empty catch after one empty catch, and you're just almost done with religion altogether. And to you, I say, just push out a little deeper. Not that a little deeper means that you have to come and listen to everything that I say, but a little deeper beyond what you know into some of the unknown. Come away with Jesus. Find the deeper waters. Because because it's there that you will be surprised at how liberating this life can be, how abundant and full of joy this life can become. So in order to push us out into the deeper waters, we're going to do something a little bit different on this broadcast. We're going to go into a contemplative practice, and this is just part one of this contemplative practice. It's about refilling your empathy wells. It's about going deeper into who you are and how connected you are to those around you and to God. Join me in this exercise to recover a little bit of your empathy, to get into a deeper water of replenishment. Maybe so. Amen.
This is a practice of deep replenishment. Many of us are going through a moment of compassion fatigue. It feels like our wells of empathy and energy have run dry. In this moment, we will be learning a practice that draws from the deep divine reservoir. So get relaxed and comfortable. Take 2 deep breaths in and out. In and out. Gently shut your eyes if you can, allowing yourself to be in a comfortable and relaxed posture. With your eyes closed, bring a few people to mind with whom you have felt happy, completely safe, well, and loved. They could be people from any stage in your life. Maybe it's a family member, a teacher, a mentor, or a friend. Or maybe there's someone from the past or present who have inspired you. Someone whose words have moved you, or someone whose life inspires you. Maybe they are a spiritual ancestor. Now envision them in front of you. See their gentle smiles and faces filled with love. They are sending you the wish of loving compassion, the wish for your deepest well-being, for your happiness and peace. Notice the joy of holding their smiling faces in your mind. When you feel that joy, the meditation has already begun. It is the joy of sensing others commune with the goodness of your very being. Your deep worth beyond all limiting value judgments. Feel the loving energy of this communing. Imagine it as a soft, radiant energy, like a gentle, shimmering mist that comes from your benefactors and showers down upon your whole body and mind. Receive that soft, loving energy into every part of your body. First, receive it deeply into your upper body, into every part of the face, of the head, of the neck, even into your shoulders, letting all areas of tension soften and relax under its gentle touch. Then receive this soft, radiant energy gradually into the middle part of your body. Receive it into your chest, into your back, your abdomen, your arms, down to your hands, all the way into and through your fingertips. Allow the gentle radiance to permeate every cell, letting bodily tension relax under its touch. Finally, receive the energy into every part of your lower body, through your torso, into your pelvis and your thighs and your legs, all the way down to your toes, letting every part of you be loved. Sit here a moment, receiving that loving, radiant energy. Allow it to enter into your mind, into each layer of tension and worry, every feeling of difficulty, frustration, longing, sadness, grief, anger. Allow every feeling and thought in the mind, even as it arises, to be thoroughly permeated by this healing energy, sensing every part of you as loved. Stay here a while, feeling that energy moving in and through you. Then receive the loving energy into the subtlest feelings of holding on to yourself, holding on to anything at all. In this way, let yourself be tenderly swept away to merge into the oneness with your benefactors and surroundings in that radiant energy. Feel it all around you. No point is there separation, but just the release into oneness. At this point, release the visualization of your benefactors. Let your body and mind fall completely open. Allow all thoughts, feelings, and perceptions to just arise and dissolve of themselves, like wispy clouds in the sky-like openness. Breathing in, breathing out, arising and dissolving. Let your mind rest in a state of utter simplicity and total expansiveness, allowing all to be just as it is. Breathing in, breathing out. Be here now.
Everybody, thanks for watching our broadcast. And as always, if you want to be a part of sustaining and helping to support Mission Gathering Charlotte and everything that we're doing, if you would go to our Cash App up here, our Venmo, or our website and give. Anything you can give helps. We just had a radiator break on us and all this other stuff. You know, it's always something, but we can get through it together. So thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing week. Be blessed and know that you are deeply connected to the divine. All right, have a great week. Bye.